Hey guys, it is me, British Designer here, and today what we are going to be doing is we're going to be basically doing a brow coverage tutorial. So as you can see, I'm going straight in with just a Pritt stick, glue stick. You can use Prose, but this tutorial is for glue sticks because it's more for short term. However, I would recommend Prose for more long-term wear. So I basically take sort of like an eyebrow comb that is plastic. You can use the metal ones, people use metal ones, I just use a plastic one, it's fine enough for me. And then I take the back of the comb and just sort of pull out any of that line texture, and then I go in with go in with any sort of fabric, t-shirt, whatever, lick it and just wipe off the excess around it. So that's sort of what you do. You just make sure it's all smoothed out, make sure all the hairs are standing up. I think that's sort of the standard thing, and then you wait for that to completely dry. Then you go into a second layer, you do the identical thing. After it's dried, you put a little bit of powder on. You can do another extra one after this, but I only do 3 layers now, and 2 if I'm doing a really look I know that's going to look good or it's just a bit weird. I'll do 2 layers of glue, but so after this is completely dried, you then put, and it has to be completely dried, put a bit of powder on, brush it off. And then you lick your glue stick or put a tiny bit of drop of water on and just mix it about and brush through your brow. I just like it because it's easier, I don't care. It's really quite nice. And then you don't wait for that to fully dry, but you wait it to go like it's almost dry, quite tacky. So as you can see, I actually keep the video in full here, and this is just timed up by 2.5 times. So really it's only about like, what, 2 or 3 minutes. Not even that, like 1 or 2 minutes even. They really have to wait for this. And then you powder that one fully, you just kind of dab off the excess with your brush instead of fully swiping it off, and then you go in with your foundation, and I'm using a full cover, I recommend Kryolan paint sticks, or Mehron, but I'm using a full cover by, I think it's the Infallible Mattes foundation, mixed with a bit of my Kryolan, mixed with a, I think it's a bit of my Kryolan, yeah. Also the Technic contour palette really, like it's super cheap, cream contour, and it works really well. And then I used a bit of Mehron white foundation just to lighten it up because that colour's a bit too dark for me. And after that you powder it, and even if the eyebrow's showing through in colour a little bit, it's better than colour correcting and powdering then going in with foundation because that's just a bit too much on there. Layer wise, it'll get real crusty real quick. So now all that wet's on, you just go in and you just powder. I've powdered. And you go in, and to create an eyebrow, I like to go in and just etch out my crease with whatever colours I'm using. Just make sure I get the proportions and style of my crease. So I do it very differently. Most queens do it at the end or at the beginning before they do their eye. I do it, I just like map out my crease and like, okay, so that's where my eye socket's going to be, so now I can make my brow proportionate. So I take this taupe colour in eyeshadow. I now use brow pomade, but I recommend eyeshadow with a glued brow, just because brow pomade's a little bit, it can sometimes tear a bit off because it's a bit harsh. So we just do that. And I'm making my top line. Originally that was going to be my bottom line, but I realised it was too high. Originally you make your bottom line first, but you can kind of go in and edit it, and you're going to clean up with a bit of foundation anyway, which is why we don't want that corrector there anyway, because we're doing full coverage foundation on top of full coverage foundation. Now, once I have the map of my brow, I like to go in and give more depth to my crease, and I'm just using one palette by Make Revolution for this, and then using a dark colour from that other palette, which is just like an online, sort of like Amazon one, which is just to deep my brows. So then I take a white foundation, put it in the middle of my eye, but this is a soft crease. It's kind of like a similar but more draggy version to the prior look. So sort of blend it, make sure there's no harsh edges, blend it out with my beauty blender. On my faux beauty blender. And then I just go in, I'm using like a light champagne pink pink sort of colour. I'm using that and I really love that. I need to use that palette more, I haven't used it in a couple of weeks. I'll use it tomorrow because I'm getting my new wigs. But yeah, so I'm going in the back with copper, and copper works for me, but you can use it with any set of shadows. You don't want to take the shimmer. Like, I took the shimmer above, like, you know, I took my shimmer all over my eye with the previous look, but with this look, because you have a matte sort of eye, you want to keep the matte shadows, you know, on your crease and no shimmer above that really, because you don't want it to show up your brow underneath, because it does take, it shows the texture really. Any shimmer shows up texture and it'll show up the brow texture. So I did pick the matte white highlight colour out of it just to give it a little extra coverage, because it just means also it's been a bit more sort of set with a full coverage eyeshadow. So I'm just adding a little bit more depth, and that's practically the eye makeup done. So you have that slight depth in the crease. And I believe then we go into eyeliner then brow, or brown and eyeliner. It's been a couple of weeks since I did this look. It's a good look though, I am very happy with this look. So again, really I don't know, it's just a really soft eye. It's kind of like my pinnacle of my drag, and if I do a glued down brow, this is kind of like my go-to now. I mean, I've gone through phases with my glued down brow looks, and I still do. I don't really have a defined look, I don't find. You know, I haven't felt that I've got like a specific sort of style of my glued down eyes. But this is sort of like my quintessential drag on a draggier kind of level. So I'm going in with that taupe shadow at the front, and then at the back that really deep brown. Make sure these colours are matte, or have them all like metallic. Don't go with a pearlescent because that'll look weird, but if you're going to do a shimmery brow, go with metallic shadows. They work really nicely for that style of brow. I used to do it all the time. I did gold to copper to, you know, like gold to copper to deep like brown metallic, like a brassy kind of colour. That was really cool back in the day, but now I really just keep it quite natural. So this is like, you could leave it like that, so it's quite natural. I did have a sort of line there that I could see though, because I messed it up the first time. So I do actually take my foundation inside of it to create a more intense ombre, and right now I'm just using a white face powder, that's matte, under my sort of white cream foundation, and I feel like that's the most, I don't know, I like a really bold brow highlight, and I feel like it really just makes it look like it's in place. If you don't put a really bright highlight under your brow bone and drag, it kind of just, like your natural brow bone sometimes shows up, I found. So with eyeliner, using a super cheap eyeliner, doing a super thin long wing, and then correcting with a foundation because I did mess it up a little bit. But that's why I like doing eyes first. I mean, you can do it, you know, without doing that, but I don't like having multiple layers of foundation on my face. It's really only under my eyebrow that I really allow multiple layers of foundation. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty, yeah, it's pretty, I don't know, it's kind of like, yeah, just a draggy version, like a basic copper eye, and you can, if you're doing a cut crease, just look up Mariah Balenciaga's makeup that she did with Logo. That's a very good one for beginner queens, very sort of good, simple makeup for that kind of genre, and which I find quite good. So, you know, and I feel like it's the easiest way to make a cut crease. Or if you're a bit more, you know, if you're feeling a little bit more advanced, can look at what Miss Fame does, because Miss Fame has a very good way of mapping out her face. You know, and you don't have to use as many shadows as her, but the trick from her is using a lip liner and trying to keep the line perfect from the start, whereas Mariah's like, just fix it later. And I feel like that's a good method for some queens, or finding a mix between them. But for this look, it's a soft crease, and I feel like that's what you should really experiment with at first, because I feel like soft creases might be a bit easier. They look a little bit more natural. I feel like getting that sort of natural definition is the most important. Now obviously that palette's making an appearance again. I'm going to go under the lash line with it, just to add some shading. And where I added that light colour, I didn't make it sharp because I didn't want it to be an extension of my eye, I wanted it just to brighten my eye. So if you were wanting to do something like Kimchi, which is like a very sharp line, that's the extension of the eye to make out that that's actually where your eye goes to, and that's not what I want for this look, it's a bit too natural. But I do take some white cosmetic glitter and put it on there. Well, it's not cosmetic, it's food glitter, but you can use food glitter because it dissolves in the eye. If it got in your eye, it dissolves away because it's just starch. It's not good to get in your eye, never get it in your eye, but you know, if you did, it's not the end of the world. Same with cosmetic glitter, I think it's just made out of starch too. Or a similar sort of dissolvable things. As you can see, I ombre my brow a bit more. I did try and draw hairs through it, which kind of ruined it a little bit, but it's a good dragger. I don't know, I appreciate... I don't know. I do like queens that draw in the brow hairs. I don't like doing it to myself. It just looks weird on me. And also you can glue down your brows and just use an ultra natural, you know. You can just use the nub of your brow. I usually do that for my brow, you know, for my looks, but today I just wanted to change it up. So I'm adding a 145 lash, which is my go-to lash. You saw it in the last video, or did I use 140? I think I used 140 actually. This is my 145, this is my draggier lash, and it's not very draggy, it's a very small lash, but my drag's quite small. 301s maybe, you know, may work good for you, but this is kind of like the one that's more acceptable for me, I personally feel. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. You know, I'll be putting just some lash glue kind of like in that outer corner and just putting some glitter on that, and it'll really pop. But yeah, hopefully you've learned stuff from this and you've sort of learned a nice way to cover your brows, and for anyone who's beginning as well, do learn how to cover your brows down. even if it's just for photo shoots, because it will come in useful at some points. I feel like it does have versatility to your makeup, so that's all I've really got to say. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more. I do have more to come. I haven't filmed anything in a while, but I'm getting a new wig, so I might do a wig unboxing video. So yeah. Well, I'm getting them on my birthday, but I'm getting I'm opening my boyfriend's and wearing it for longer because he said I can. My parents don't like me with this. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please, like, comment, and subscribe if you do like it and you want to comment. Obviously, you want to subscribe. So hopefully you guys, yeah, I've said this a bajillion times, but basically I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go now for real. Have a good day. Bye.